Daniel Ritchie, the developer of Howler 9.1, and in this tutorial I'd like to cover a subject we don't talk about that much, which is brush keying. As you're familiar with the brush tool, the custom brush tool that is, which is usually activated by the brush selector tool, you are able to pick up any image on the screen and make it into a brush that you can paint with, as I'm going to do here. I'm just going to pick that up, and that becomes a new brush, and we can go ahead and start painting with that. But there's quite a bit more you can do with this, and changing that keying channel is really one of the first places we want to start, which lets us have that transparent color. Let me change the opacity of this brush to 255. As you can see, the part of interest of the brush is opaque, whereas the background, that black color, is indeed transparent. That is what we call a brush key. It refers to the alpha channel of the brush, or more specifically, a brush is basically an image in memory, just like the image we're painting on now. It has a red, green, and blue channel, and it also has a alpha channel, which is the channel that describes the transparency, or as we often say, the opacity of the brush. One of the things you can do once you have that opacity channel is you can use grow and shrink to make that channel larger or smaller, which has the effect of giving an outline, as you see this white outline around this blue text. So I'm going to show you roughly how that was accomplished. So let me clear the screen and go to the text tool. I've already typed in some text here. I've centered it using the center justification. I selected a font and changed its size and all those sort of things already. Okay, a quick brown dog. I'm going ahead and select the colors I want to use now. The foreground and the background color are going to be important here. This foreground color, or this primary color, is going to be the color of the text. And when we get finished, this background color is going to be the color of the outline. So I'm going to go ahead and select a red in this case for the outline. Hit OK to that. Clear the screen. That will clear to that color now, that color we just selected. And I'm going to use yellow for the inside color. I'll hit OK to that. I'll go ahead and apply this text here, and that will give me yellow text on a black or a red background rather. And I'm going to go ahead and pick this up as a brush using this brush selector tool. That's a B on the keyboard to activate that tool. Now normally you would just select what you needed, which is the area of interest, but I'm going to give it some extra space because we want to create an outline. So I'm going to put some extra space on both sides and pick that up. That has now become our new brush. And I might change this background color now to, I might put it on black. Go ahead and clear this. Clear this. Alright. But, okay, as you remember, a brush is a 32-bit image, 8 bits per channel, a red, green, and blue channel, and a transparency channel. So when we created that brush, the brush was on a red background. So that red is actually still in the image. It's just being made transparent by that transparency color. But that is actually still in there. Now when we grow and shrink, or grow this alpha channel, it's going to reveal some of that red that's in there. And that's going to become our border color. So when you create a brush, you might be semi-opaque or semi-transparent. You might want to put that all the way up to 255 for the sake of this tutorial. Alright, so I'm going to go to the brush menu, and you see there's a transparency menu under that. And way at the bottom there is key grow and key shrink. And you can see the keyboard shortcuts for that. It's shift bracket, or the, what is that, parenthesis. So I'm going to find the keys on my keyboard and attempt to activate that. Let me see. There it goes. And you can actually see it growing as I type that in. And the more you press that key down, the more times it's going to grow. So we've actually just created a beautiful outline around our text. You can do this with any type of brush. It doesn't have to be text. And shrinking that alpha channel is a good way to remove keying problems. Say if you picked up a brush from a green screen and there was a little bit of green spill on your brush, the outline wasn't very clean looking, you can use that key shrink to remove that. Maybe just remove 1 pixel's worth of green away from that border. There's a lot you can do with this, which is left to the imagination. But it is one quick way of creating an outline around a brush. Text being one of the most useful examples I can think of. So I'll go ahead and clear the screen and stamp that down as a new stamp there, and that has become a quick way, as I said, of creating an outline around text. So that is an introduction to brush keying. There's quite a bit more under that menu. There's, of course, keying out the black. Say you picked up a brush and you just wanted to get rid of black, or if you just wanted to get rid of the primary color or the secondary color, you can do that from this transparency menu. You can make the luminance key, or the luminance channel of the brush, the new alpha channel, or you can randomize this. This is a good way for creating like chalk effects. Say you picked up an airbrush and you want it to be a chalk tool, you can randomize that key, and then it would have sort of a chalky quality to it. And there's more still. Let me pick this up again. There's also a transparency tool in here. Let's see, whoops. Transparency tool, which will sort of dissolve out the edges of a brush, or it actually needs a little bit of softness to it if it's a complex brush, which will give you sort of a fade out effect. You can alternately make the inside part of the brush the transparent part, and the outside the let's see, here we go, the outside. Here we go. All right, there we go. Where the inside of the brush becomes transparent and the outside stays opaque. Those are just a few things you can do with this tool. It works better with simple shapes, but you can apply some smoothness to it, which will help with these more complex shapes like this. There is also a feather tool. Let me see if I can do something with that. Pick this up again. Brush. Let's see, transparency and feather, and just hit OK there. And yeah, as you see there, we just created a version of this brush that now has a soft edge to it, not a sharp edge. So it's really creating more of a glow effect than it is creating a hard outline effect. But that is just one more example of what you can do with brush keying inside of Howler 9.1. And we'll talk to you again later. As Philip would say, happy waffling. And as I would say, TTFN.